with no death and no debt. There's a lot of signs here about banking reform, Goldman Sachs. The most important step we could make is to re-nationalize our central banks. Our country should be printing their own money, and we will again. In the United States, the Federal Reserve Bank needs to be nationalized, and the men who control it and print the money privately need to be removed. Every single movement that is here is building a train to where we need to go, but we need to lay track. We have to have a way to go from A to B. And the journey is political. We, the people, can get together, have an action plan, seize power in the next election, and build a new system that is not run by private men who we do not know, that hand out policy to our governments for implementation. We need to make concrete demands. There's a process in this movement that wants to keep us from putting down concrete demands. But if we're here and we understand that our demands will be met, otherwise why gather? If we realize that our demands will be met, then we must set them to the highest moral imperative, which is no more killing. And if that is your demand and you hold these men to it, they will either refuse and engage you in a different manner when you protest, or you will make them bring the troops home to every nation that launched them in the first place, and we will use world peace as a prerequisite for the installation of a new global social, economic, and political system that brings the third world up to the level of the first world, instead of bringing all of us down to the third world. I got 5 minutes. I'll come back anytime. Be very, very wary of any movement that doesn't want you to replace your leadership in government. If you are going to remove a corrupt system, then you must remove the administrators of the corrupt system. Otherwise, the new system will also be corrupt because it's run by the same corrupt elements, the men who print money and lend it to nations and repossess their resources when they can no longer afford to pay their debts. That means that these men over time in every country, whether it's Greece, the United States, or Canada, end up seizing your land, your military, your resources, and your water supply, and then sell it back to you when you're thirsty. Water is the precondition for life on this planet, and nobody should own it. We have an election in this province in 2013. We can come to power together, call it whatever you want, but let's all get on the same bus. We call it BC United, and everybody get together and cancel these private power deals, cancel these water deals, stop busting up the unions, and put everybody back to work. I am done for now. There's also a plan B. We just declare these governments illegitimate right now on the spot. Stop paying the HST. Stop forking our money over to these bankers. On a day of your choosing, you will have a new government. You need to decide if you want that to be run by you or you want a dictatorship to settle in, because that's where we're headed if we don't get off of our knees and replace these men. Amen.